I think I've known Victor at least about 20 years or so, certainly in his capacity as member of the House of Delegates and now in the State Senate. He's been a real leader in Annapolis, made a difference for people here in Prince George's County and across the state. Senator Ramirez was one of the leaders in the fight for body cameras on the police. And that was controversial, not only here but across the country. But I think most of us felt that it wasn't going to fix everything, but it was an important step in the right direction just to make sure there's accountability on how the police handle themselves and what happens out on the scene. And in a community like this, I think that's critical. So that's one of his biggest accomplishments in the state Senate. I decided to support Victor for state's attorney because of the track record he's got, but most importantly, he's got experience as a criminal trial lawyer. We need somebody who can hit the ground running, who's got the experience to run the office and understand what critical decisions have to be made as state's attorney from day one. We've got to make sure we send somebody to that office that doesn't need training wheels and knows how to run the office from day one. And the man in that field, the man in this field who can do that is Victor Ramirez. I think Victor's been a strong leader here in Prince George's County for 16 years now plus. And I think in stepping up to the role of state's attorney, which would be a county-wide office, and is really the chief law enforcement officer for the county is critical because it's such a big issue for us. We've got economic development, that's important. Improving the schools is important. Well, criminal justice has a big impact on both of those. We grow the economy faster as the criminal justice piece keeps getting better, as crime goes down. It can help make a difference in the schools. But also we have to have a justice component to it as well that continues to move forward. Making sure we stop over-criminalizing and over-prosecuting young people to help them get a fast start on life and not be held back out of going to school or getting into the job market. I think Victor can be a strong leader on that front. President Trump has unfortunately really rekindled a lot of the bigotry that had gone underground to some extent. Never went away completely, and we saw that with some of the things that were said and done with respect to President Obama. But, with Charlottesville and some of these other incidents, Trump's really brought it back out to the forefront. And I think Victor's one of the people who understands that Prince George's County is a very diverse community. We've all done well living together, working together, going to school together, going to church together, and that we're all stronger together. And I think he realizes that he can be an important leader, an even more important leader as state's attorney on that front, if given the chance to do it. Victor's obviously not African American, and a lot of people have asked me why I'm supporting him. And one of the things I tell him that frequently surprises him is that when he first got elected state senator here in Maryland, he actually beat a sitting incumbent senator who was African American. And the reason he won that race, and he won it in a predominantly African American district, I think it's over 90% African American. It's the district I live in right now here in Cheverly, but it includes places like Chillum and Bladensburg and other communities nearby. The reason he won was because he had done such a good job in the House of Delegates, representing those people in those communities, staying in touch with them, making sure he understood their hopes and their dreams and their needs, and that he worked hard to help them accomplish it. And so he won that race by almost 20 points because of the work he'd done. And he can win this race in the same way. If people look at his record and give him a chance on the merits, they'll know that he'll do a great job as our state's attorney here in Prince George's County. I know Victor's been an important part of that in the state legislature, in the House of Delegates, in the state Senate, in the community. And I think he's got the kind of ability, the temperament, the personality, and the experience to really help us continue to move forward on that path.